Hey, good morning, everybody. Yes, good morning. I just wanted to make sure you could hear me. Welcome to Invisible Condition, everybody. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and today's going to be interesting because we have had a few changes in the recording of the show, and so this is going to be fun. We want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is. If you're watching and you are living with an invisible condition or somebody you love does, we want all of you to know that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. Now, here on Invisible Condition, we get it, okay? Things can be dicey. Things can, not every day is created equal, right? There are great days and there are tough days. And so the thing is, even on those tough days, there is always hope. So I want you to make sure that you remember that. And if you feel like hope is not there, or you feel like you're hurting there, I'm gonna put a graphic up here as soon as. By the way, Michal Cooling is with us today again to walk through some things with Chronic Illness Solution and some amazing things that she's doing, and we're gonna dive into something there too. So when she comes on, I'm gonna put a graphic on the screen and you can comment, and please just comment hope. If if you need some hope, you've lost yours, you don't know where it went, I want to help you because hope's a big deal. And that's where we like to operate here, is in the world of hope. So stick around. I'm gonna play Michal's a video for Michal real quick, and then when we come back, we'll both be on the screen and we're going to kick this off. So we'll see you in just a minute. Welcome, everybody. I know it's a little different. And by the way, this is the first show that Michal is joining us on in season 7. So I meant to do this before you got on the screen, but I'm gonna do it now because it's exciting. Welcome to season 7, everybody. I know there's been a couple episodes before this, but I want to put it on the screen anyway because it's a cool graphic and it's exciting. So season 7, I feel like we just started season 6 and it's over already. So time flies when you're having fun. And so welcome,
and we
everybody.
were having fun.
Absolutely. So yeah, so thank you, Michal. Very good to see you again, of course, as always. And so for those that might be oh, that's right, I said I was going to put a graphic on here. So here's the graphic. So I was talking about hope earlier. Facebook, YouTube, comment away. If you need help, if you want to ask questions, if Michal or I say something that blows your mind and goes, wait a minute, I've never heard that before, that can't be true, put a comment in there. By the way, we get that a lot. So put a comment in there. Believe me, we'll reach out it's what she does. It's what we do. So it's blow minds all over the place. So, all right, Michelle, um, tell everybody a little bit who you are, a little bit, and then what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so I can't believe it's season 7. Super cool. We have a new studio back end we're learning how to be in, so that's
Woo.
great. Thanks everybody for patience. And I am a soul midwife. And on previous seasons, you've heard me talk about so many things from my background in functional medicine, holistic nutrition, and a bunch of like very clinical sciencey stuff, neurosciencey stuff, to spiritual things, to raising consciousness kind of things, and channeling, which is a weird word, and all kinds of weird concepts. So we've talked about a lot. Um,
Yes.
my journey to what I do now really is through my own physical health challenges. And I was bedridden for years, and doctors and specialists and natural holistic professionals didn't know what to do with me. And so I quickly saw the limitations of conventional medicine. I found more hope and more answers in holistic and alternative medicines and functional medicine, but they were also sorely lacking. I was not fully well. I was simply managing symptoms with more things, which was exhausting and kind of a hamster wheel in and of itself. And so it really caused me to question everything that I had learned and all the systems that I knew about, and seek answers for something different. And I did find it by the grace of God. I found him, and he led me to healing technology that I basically had to discover. And so by working with hundreds of individuals and training other people to facilitate doing this work, we are seeing consistently that it does work. And we have fine-tuned it over probably 16 years, and we continue to learn and continue to grow and continue to expand as we go through that process. So that's what I'm here to share with you, which hopefully brings you hope, and gives you a light on your path to be able to follow in those footsteps. And so fast forward to today, I am fully well. There's no evidence I ever had an autoimmune disease, which is supposed to be impossible. My genetic disorder doesn't even show up in my blood tests, which is supposed to be impossible. I can eat foods that I had anaphylactic reactions to, which is supposed to be impossible. I am off all supplements and meds. I have no restrictions in my diet or my lifestyle, meaning I can handle ice cream or I can breathe in toxins, whatever I'm exposed to. My body is fully functioning and my soul is fully functioning. And that gives me access to live a life in love and in the love of the Creator, rather than a life in fear, like the world is steeped in. Fear and other things like shame and pride and all sorts of other things, right?
Yeah.
And so really being able to live a life in a new paradigm, like popping out of the Matrix. We've watched clips of the Matrix in our previous seasons. It really is a lot like that. And it really is
Right.
possible and available. And the newer thing that we find ourselves sharing with people a lot in the Christian community or the spiritual communities is that we think that we will always struggle with trauma, with our humanness, with our ego, with our flesh, with our sin nature. And we're not finding that that is true. That's not what Scripture says. That's not what our experience is. So I get that's a crazy thing you might have to scan a QR code about, because that doesn't sound true. But I'm happy to talk with you further on that. But that's really what it is.
Right.
It's the way out of living in that state of being and that state of consciousness and that state of spiritual slavery, And scripture tells us that we can't be a slave to two masters. We are either a slave to sin, which is lower levels of consciousness, or we are a slave to Christ, which is the most high love consciousness, if you will. Language is tricky sometimes. So what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to start a new little mini series on trauma and PTSD, and really reframe that so that everyone has a way out, because he is the way out.
Yes,
Okay.
and PTSD is one of those that, and let me just say this up front because I know we were kind of joking about it before we got on this. And PTSD is not a joke; that's not what I meant. But we were, you know, this is not when we say PTSD, we don't mean. I feel like it's such an overused phrase right now, right? Like it's the I don't know if it's a generational thing or if it's just, but I feel like that what that character in the Princess Bride, right? It was like, you keep using that word, but I don't think it means what you think it means. It's like people use it, but it's overused, and so it minimizes the word to overuse it like that. PTSD is not, oh my gosh, I had a near miss on the road and almost hit that squirrel. Oh, I have PTSD. No, 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 no. That you may have been startled and you've made your heart rate may have gone up a little bit, but that is not post traumatic stress. That was not a traumatic experience necessarily. Post traumatic stress is things from life and things from, I don't know, maybe you can explain that better. I mean, I feel like that might be the first thing is, what is PTSD? Because I feel like it's been overused and almost minimized by being overused in this society. So,
Yep.
but it's
That's
legit. So
Yeah, that's very true. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, but I know it will be what is supposed to be. So I am trusting and
bring it
surrendering.
on.
Okay. Yes, what you are pointing to is the distinction between what we experience as triggers of lower states of consciousness, which can feel traumatic or traumatizing. They can feel hijacking, like an amygdala hijack. They can feel consuming with the flood of adrenaline and cortisol, and how that affects our brain, taking us out of a whole brain state into the reaction, fight, or flight mode. So, a lot of people, well, we all have that. So, in that sense,
Yeah.
yes, we all have that, whatever you want to call it. PTSD, in what you're referring to, is a specific way in which we were traumatized that disconnected certain parts of our brain from other parts of our brain. And so, the trauma of those particular specific instances or repeated instances over time have become embedded in those parts of the brain and in specific parts of our body. And so, even when individuals, let's say, reach the most high state of consciousness, and have no egoic lower levels of consciousness in them, meaning there isn't fear in them anymore. There isn't shame in them anymore. There isn't anger in, like, running them. Like,
Yeah.
there isn't that ego in them. There still is a body memory
There
healing
it
that
is.
needs to take place, and there is
Yeah.
a physical brain rewiring process that needs to take place, where there's an ability to reconnect parts of the brain to the other parts. So when people experience PTSD in the way that you're talking about, like real PTSD, or real CPTSD, all of it, everything I'm saying is about both. When individuals are triggered in that way, it's almost as if they get stuck inside of those disconnected parts of the brain, and
Yes.
they can't get out. And so by reconnecting everything, it provides that doorway out of the trauma into back into that whole brain state. And what we're finding, which is so beautiful, and I'm happy to share the depth of my trauma with everyone too, because I have been there and done that and healed. And Jeff's in a healing process now. So it is possible. We're finding that it's actually, this is going to be a triggering word to hear. It is actually easy to heal trauma. Doesn't feel like it. When the right components are there. And those components are very much what we've been discussing the entire time. There's
Yep.
just a few nuances that are different and specific to trauma. And I will be sharing that with you guys because, again, it was something I had to discover and learn, and that we in my team had to discover and learn because we didn't learn it in all of the trauma informed education and all of the stuff that we've done. It wasn't there. So when I got my master's in nutrition, and I chose PTSD as my master thesis. And
Hey.
so way back in the day, however many years ago that was, I wrote like a 300-page master thesis paper diving into PTSD and trauma and the effect on the body and the brain and the neurology of all of it, and how do you support it nutritionally and in other ways with all the tools and
Wow.
modalities I had studied over many, many years and experienced myself. So I've been working in this area for 16 plus years, and I have learned so much. And the process has become so much more simple, and the healing in myself has become complete. And
Yep.
I know most people can't say complete. I was always told in my journey, well, there's always more and you're always healing. There's always more I'm learning. There's always more I'm growing in that is not easy. It's not a cakewalk. It's more challenging now. But as far as the healing aspect of that, my trauma is healed, and I am continuing to learn so much about that.
So I have a question about that because that that already doesn't quite sit in my brain like I think it should. So
I know. Like,
so just
sorry, not sorry.
no, no, no,
Here we
no.
go.
So of course, anybody that's been watching for any length of time has heard parts of my story. Emergency brain, emergency C-section to come into the world, emergency brain surgery at 2 weeks old, more brain surgery at 6 months old, surgery, surgery, surgery. I mean, my body and my system and my processes in my brain and in my body have been disrupted from a very young age. And especially in the last 10, 12 years, it's been very disruptive to life and to normalcy. And so medical PTSD is very much a part of my world right now, because we just figured out that is, you know, part of it. So what you said, say, I don't even
I know.
remember
I need my
exactly.
snow globe. I gave it to someone.
I don't even remember what you
So,
said exactly, but it kind of oh yeah, that's right. So the way I think about it is you're kind of peeling back the layers of the onion, right? It's like you figure that part out, and then okay, that's gone, but then oh nope, here's the next step. And a lot of people feel like that's a lifelong process. But what you're saying is if you can master this, I guess is or maybe correct me if I'm saying the wrong terminology here, but if you can get this figured out, then it's not layers of the onion. It's just, an experience that you forgot about that maybe was traumatizing to you in the past, that now you know what to deal with, how to deal with it, and how to make it not traumatic anymore.
yeah,
Help me
yeah,
with the terminology here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like And it's not a forgetting. In fact, well, and I didn't have memories resurface until I was at a certain level
Exactly.
myself, right?
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
not even forgetting, it's like actually remembering. But that
Right.
came as the last thing, not as like the first thing. You don't have to remember to heal in case that's the kind of trauma people have. That's not what it's like. You basically heal, and then from a healed state, you do the final
Yeah.
remembering,
Because I feel
recall.
like that's where we are now. It's like, oh my gosh, now it was like medical PTSD was recently a diagnosis I got, and now I'm looking back, going, oh, holy cow! Look at all the stuff that kind of. I don't want to like write stuff off and make excuses, but look at all the stuff that explains. It's like all
Yes,
the things that happened in the past, and we had no idea where that came from. Now we
right.
do. Now we can
Yes.
move forward and say, when that happens again, now we know what to do with it. Is that
Yes,
okay?
totally. Yeah, and the awareness of it's that, like you said, it's the light bulb of, oh, now I see this mechanism of what's going
Perfect.
on. And that's the same as
Ugh.
we've been talking about the mechanism of like these other voices that are not of love, not the most high. They're ego voices, they're lower consciousness voices. And we are the choice of what we will choose to channel and choose to listen to. Do I
Yes.
listen to fear or do I listen to love? And we've mentioned it before, but not really talked about trauma. Do I channel trauma or do I channel love? It's the same choice, it's just a different mechanism. And it's kind of like everyone thinks the onion is infinite.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
just an
There's
onion,
always layers, right?
right?
Yeah.
But there's not always layers. There's like, what, not until you get the last layer of the onion,
I mean,
then
if you
it's
look at an onion, it's not infinite. There's like
right.
7 or 8 layers, and then you're done. You're in the middle. Yeah.
That's our experience of this. Yeah. So the thing with trauma specifically is, and a lot of the trauma work we're doing with people, what's coming up is that there are what we call belief silos. Like a silo is like a giant concrete thing, right?
Yeah.
That holds stuff in it.
Right.
And so we have created like a belief silo around trauma, which we think or maybe even did need, in quotes, need, okay, in quotes, need, to have to protect ourselves
Yeah.
for a time and to survive psychologically. We didn't have to, there's a better way, but that's all we
It's what
knew,
we did.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like inherited, that's just what we do, that's the survival mechanism. And so when we are dismantling trauma, we're dismantling belief silos and belief systems. And so, so many years ago, probably 16, God began showing me about beliefs and false beliefs. Belief silos are a little bit different, but they're similar concepts. So, what we do, the process that happens in our physical brain, is that we are experiencing and perceiving life and what's happening. And so that stimulus, that information, that experience comes in, and it goes to a part of our brain where we're analyzing, judging, and making meaning out of whatever this is. So it's a processing plant. Okay, in the processing
Yeah.
plant, we take what we experienced and we add beliefs to it. We add meaning, we add interpretation, we add perception. We choose which voice we listen to about it. So the
Yes.
world is steeped in fear and other things, darkness, deception, whatever, survival
Oh.
mechanisms.
Oh yeah.
And so that is most often because we're not taught this as children. We're not raised in families where this just is what's real. Like it's the Bible lived out. We're not raised that way. So what we do is what we've learned, what we've taught, most of our ancestors did genetically. And we most often listen to the voice of survival and fear through fear-based lensing And through limiting beliefs and through belief silos we eventually construct, and through lower levels, fear and shame and guilt and pride and anger and resistance and desire and like all the stuff, right? I'm trying to do the right thing in order to gain worthiness, but I'm really unworthy and I'm unlovable and I'm not capable of handling this and I don't know what I mean, it's like it's all of our insecurities, doubts, and fears, right? That's
Yeah.
what we listen to interpret what happened to us. We are not seeing it from the highest perspective of love and safety.
So can I throw one in there real quick? So that you mentioned a whole bunch of them, and I'm wondering if people out there that are in this community of people that, like all the people that we've had on the show, the one that keeps coming up for me that in the last couple of months we've been diving into all this is that I have no good choice. I might have two or three choices, but they're all terrible, right?
Right.
Like when I was like, for instance, first surgery, 2 weeks old, the choice was either we do invasive emergency brain surgery on this 2 week old little person,
Yeah.
or he dies.
Yeah.
And so neither one of those are great. Like, can I have door number 3, please, where we don't do surgery and I'm normal and we just carry on with life? That wasn't a thing. So both of those were not ideal.
Right.
But you didn't have another choice. And so that has carried forward in the last 49 years on this planet to so many other things. And so that's why it feels like the onion is infinite, because there's so many other things that has leaked into and permeated over the lifetime. So
and that would be what you just described is a great example of a belief silo.
Yes.
So when we talked about like the other voices in our head or in our body, or like where certain experiences come from, we have the soul map. I don't know if you want to bring it up or not. It's fine. If it's easy, great. If it's
don't have it at the moment, but we can. Yeah.
But we have a map where we list different levels, right? Clear from shame and like up to love, right? And just these different levels and voices that we are in. And we've explored in the last few episodes in a series more about those and what those sound like. And Jeff's actually let some of them go and been able to bring through the highest love voice, right? And with this, it's different as a belief silo because it is like a way of viewing life, a way of interacting with life as though it's true. I have no good choice. And you can see that it was constructed from a specific trauma, but then that is the belief that shapes our perception everywhere in life. It's like a pair of lenses. It's not the same as lower levels of consciousness in us. It is distinct. It is a belief silo. And so then what happens is our beliefs actually give us emotional reactions. Beliefs give us thoughts as well. Beliefs give us a way of being. Like if you think a bear's gonna eat you and your body believes that's true, right? You have emotions, thoughts, and a way of being, like automatically a reactionary way of being, that there's no way for you to step out of that. Like if that's what you believe in your belief silo and that's what reality looks like to you, there's no way I'm gonna be like, do some deep breathing. You want me to do deep breathing while I'm about to get eaten by a bear? That's literally like suicide. Like, what are you talking about? It makes no sense. This is the level of cognitive dissonance most people experience when I start speaking, because it's actually conflicting their belief silos of like, if I do what you say, I'm gonna die.
Right.
And really, it's like, actually, it's just a belief silo. The bear's not real, and I know you can't see that right now, but let's baby step you along the way so you can know you're safe, right? And so that's what we do, to where then they're like, oh, I don't see the bear anywhere. There's no bear. I'm not in a place where a bear's gonna eat me. Great. Now we can do some deep breathing and dismantle the belief silo.
Yes.
That's how, so it's very gentle and safety first, safety always. It's about receiving the safety of the highest love and really allowing that into the parts of our brain, into the parts of our body, to reconnect there, so that healing can take place.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm still not. My brain is still exploding a little bit with that,
I know.
but what? And if yours is too, that's okay because this is this is new, and new is good, and yeah.
Because
So
it's the
we're
way
gonna
out.
and we're gonna dive into that in just a minute. I'm gonna go talk about a couple of things with our lovely, amazing, beautiful sponsors here for a second. So Michelle will be back here in just a minute. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in just a minute. Um, okay, here's the deal, everybody. I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about real quick. So one of them is this. In Healthy Home is the organization that I'm talking about here. And I'll tell you what, if anybody's been watching for any length of time, you know that I'm always looking for simple and natural things, natural ways to support my health without doing anything extreme. Extreme is not great. Extreme leads to the emergency room, and nobody wants to be there. So I found this company called Healthy Home, and they've got some really well thought out wellness resources that you should definitely check out. So it's stuff that supports your body's ability to do what it already knows what it needs. It already knows what it needs to do. This is just supporting it in that. And so if there is a muscle that needs healing, or if there is something needs to be repaired in your body, you might not even know about it. There was actually a story that Giselle, who was the one that tipped me off to all of this. Giselle and her husband were on the show in season 7, no, season 6. I'm sorry, and um, she actually talked to me about this and told me about it. And her husband has an amazing story. And next time I'll have the episode number ready for you. I don't today, but it's just amazing, And there was one instance where he was going through this protocol and doing this stuff, and it's like, well, I didn't feel anything. Well, something else was going on in his body that he didn't know about, that got healed first with this stuff, and then it went after the thing that he knew about already. Like, right, the obvious thing is knee pain or whatever it was, but it fixed the first most urgent thing first, and then it went after the one that he was actually thinking it would fix. So it's pretty smart. Your body knows what to do. This just aids your body in what it already knows to do. So please scan the QR code if you're even a little bit curious, and learn a little bit more, and call. The number on the screen will lead you to a very nice young woman that will answer all your questions. So, all right, next thing I want to throw out there is this. Network Referral Group is our studio sponsor, and we love NRG. We love Mike. Mike is the guy that runs NRG, and I am personally a lifetime member of NRG because I love this group so much. If you are a business owner out there and you want to network, this is the purest form of networking I've ever seen. In fact, this group has ruined me for all other networking groups. If every time I go to another networking group now, I'm like, well, how come we're not doing this? And so if you have ever wanted to do more networking and do it effectively, this is the place to go. So scan the QR code, tell them I sent you, tell them you heard about it on Invisible Condition, tell them Jeff Pearson sent you, however you want to say it. The last thing I want to throw out there is, where is this? There's it. There it is. There it is. All right, I got the right thing. Is Hydro with Hope. Now, this is a charity that our nonprofit partner for the show is Hydro with Hope. That organization is helping people that have been living with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is what I was born with, which is what has caused a lot of this medical PTSD that we're talking about, with all the brain surgeries and all the other surgeries. And so I am not alone in that. There are millions of us out here. There's hundreds of thousands of babies born with this every single year. And so I have created a really good resource, and it's this journal right here. It's a fill in the blank journal that walks people through that experience of, holy crap, we got to have brain surgery again. What do we do? This will walk you through it. It's amazing. I want to get this into the hands of every single person with hydrocephalus in the country to start. We'll work on the rest of the world later. That takes money. This is a donation link. You can donate once, you can donate monthly. I am super excited either way. I thank you in advance. This will enable us to get those journals into the hands of people that need them, and enable my amazing wife and I, Catherine and I, to travel the world to spread hope and help others establish maybe programs where they can help people in their community that are struggling with hydrocephalus. I don't know where this is all going to go. All I know is it does take money. And so we appreciate your donations. Thank you in advance. And let's bring Michelle back on here and continue this amazing conversation, because this is important. And I know we've got a lot to get to. And I know we're going to have, we might not even get to everything this episode. This might be a 2-part episode anyway. So, where do we want to pick up here?
Yeah. Also feel free to cue me on time, because I don't see the same thing I used to see.
I know this is all new, man. You don't see the timer like you used to. So
yeah, I know I used to have a timer. I'm like, okay, I can put this into a few minutes. I know it will be perfect, and I am trusting.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, I think that we need to talk about belief silos and see if we can help you, Jeff. Here we go.
I was wondering if we were going to dive into me personally, or if we were going to be general today.
Okay. I know. Well, I didn't know
we've done it a lot. Let's just do it. Why not?
I think you're getting used to it.
I'm not afraid. Bring it on.
Okay. So we're going to help you, Jeff, bring healing and the highest love perspective into the I have no good choice, and see what Jesus has to say about that to you and the Holy Spirit. And so if you are up for that, and give us all on TV live on the spot without any preparation permission to continue, then I will happily support you in that.
Bring it on. We have about 14 minutes left. So
okay.
If
that
we
helps.
can,
thank you.
Just so, yeah.
We can. It won't take long. Okay. So, quick recap so you know what's happening in your brain. In those traumatic experiences, yes, even starting at 2 weeks old, you begin to develop, acquire, and adopt belief systems and belief silos and protection mechanisms around trauma.
Yes.
And the individuals who are lovely, whom we loved, who did not know any better, right, your parents handled things the best that they possibly could.
100%.
But they weren't neuroscientists, or, you know what I mean? They weren't soul midwives, and they didn't know any of this. So you also learned to process what happened through their own fears and their own feeling of lack of choice and their own traumas and their own belief silos and their own lower level voices of fear and things. And probably guilt of like, oh my gosh, like, could we have stopped this? Like, our baby's going through that, I mean.
Right.
Because something I ate in pregnancy. I mean, there's so many things, right? Like, is it our genetics? Like,
yeah.
So that's all of that set the stage, was the filters through which you began to see the world, and that's how you processed this. So now you get the opportunity to go back with God, and literally He's inviting you to see through His eyes of love, with the promise that He turns all for good. That's the invitation, is bringing Him into that part of you. And it'll be similar, but a little different than the way we've done it before. It's all the same, but it's just, it's a little bit different and this tickles over here, and it itches over there. Right? Okay, so, and the thing that was coming up before we went to the break to share is like, this isn't his highest plan for us. This isn't what he wants for us. He's been telling us since the beginning, there is blessing and a curse, there is life and there is death. Like I'm giving you me, I'm giving you my love, I'm giving you my instructions. I'm trying to bring you out of Egypt and slavery into the promised land with me. He has been giving himself, sacrificing himself to provide us a way out of death and disease and destruction and deception and darkness and all of it. And so this isn't you going through this at 2 weeks old and having to go through that at 2 weeks old and then so many times after that. That was not his heart for you. That is the consequence of generations of sin and darkness and deception and fear and societies that aren't following him, right? But yet we have his promise that he is here for us. He loves us infinitely. He works everything together for good for those who love him and are called according to his purpose, of which you are. So therefore, with that in mind, you can view that through his perspective, and you can hear what he wants to share with you and receive the healing he wants to bring you. And I'm here to support you through anything that might come up.
Awesome.
Okay. So all that you have to do, to anyone listening, and Jeff, is it's really just a matter of focusing and being still, like quiet internally, so you can just listen. What is the message from the Most High Love? I only want to hear from the Most High Love. I do not want to hear from any belief systems I have or any lower levels of consciousness or any traumas or anything. I only want to hear the highest. So with that, please listen and let me know what comes up for you.
What popped into my head almost immediately is I've been giving you choices too, but you haven't been listening.
That is
I'm
true.
always, when I've only seen 2 or 3 choices that I don't feel like any of them are good. Clearly, that's not from Jesus. That's
Yes.
from the enemy. That's
Yes.
from, and so, of course, he would be giving me those choices. I just haven't heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
That's crazy.
Do one more little message, itty bitty baby message, just to wrap that up. Listen again. Listen again. It's like a little bitty baby part of the message left.
The only other thing popping into my head is that I'm sure everybody's seen it. It's probably been one of the most best-selling, in Christian bookstore posters, the footsteps and the footprints in the sand thing where, oh, you see 2 and then now there's just 1. It's like, where'd you go? Did you abandon me? No, that's when I carried, And so that's what's popping into my head right now is when you don't see the choice, it's like God's purpose is going to be accomplished with or without us. Like we can't, our stupidity can't get in the way. Like if it's his purpose, it's going to happen. So it's kind of like, so that's, I feel like that popped into my head to say, like, okay, if you don't see the choice, I'm going to like show you the choice, right? Like
he will do everything he can to reach us.
Yeah.
And what I love, a couple things to wrap up. I love the footprints in the sand. because from our belief silos, right? It's like, you've abandoned me. And he's like, I am literally carrying you.
Right.
And I, in remembering certain traumas that have occurred for me, I always found it weird, like, how could I forget that? And I prayed about it, and he said, because I was taking it for you, and I was covering you in me to protect you from that experience. I experienced it for you. I mean, talk about that makes the cross a whole different thing. Like, he is interacting with us, he is here for us in real, tangible ways that we don't fully realize yet. He is here. He's right. He's here. And he wants to talk to us all the time. Literally, all the time. He is talking to us all the time. It's, are we listening? So that was your first message.
Yeah.
And the next thing is, as you're talking, you were saying his will be accomplished. And yes, it's not our stupidity, like our souls, but we are steeped in deception and the stupidity of the enemy, the stupidity of darkness, the stupidity of fear and lies and ego and all that is not him, all that is not the highest love.
Yeah.
And so, yes, Jeff, he would not allow the tremendously big global calling you have on your life to be thwarted from the enemy who has been trying by targeting you since you were 2 weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
Has continued to pursue you. He has continued to give you choices. Now you're going to hear more of them anyway, right? You can begin working on that. And he has continued to bring you healing, and he has continued to shield you miraculously in ways you don't know. And he's continued to close doors you thought you wanted open so that you could be in this conversation today.
Yep.
And hear him and begin hearing him in a new way today. That's how much he's done for you. That's how much choice we have in Christ. It's not even our own choices. It's how much choices he has for us in his love of us. That's the full message for you today.
Thank you. Perfect. And
This show would not exist.
What's hilarious is like anybody that's been watching knows this too. And Michelle, you know this too. Like, movies keep popping into my head at any time. The thing that just popped into my head was, if anybody's ever seen the movie Evan Almighty with Steve Carell and Morgan Freeman, and right, there was a part in there where Morgan Freeman starts just landing stuff on his porch. Like, here's the plan. Here's what we're doing. We're building an ark. This is what we're doing. Here's all the supplies. I'm providing all this for you to do this, to accomplish what I have for you to accomplish. And he's like, but my plans, but I have this plan and this plan and this plan. And you just see Morgan Freeman pans over to him, and you can just see him rolling on the ground laughing. Like, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans, right? Like, it's not like he's not going to let you, you're not going to ever not accomplish something you want to accomplish, but really the higher calling is what he has for you to accomplish. And if you stay with that, it's going to be so much better. I mean, I just,
the scripture, like, delight yourself in the Lord, the highest love, right? The highest good, the highest love, the highest truth of all for all, the highest for everyone, right? That delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And how I view that is, when I make a choice from my soul spark to that what I delight in, what I love is love, what I love is Christ, what I love is the highest, which isn't about me, then it is revealed within me and my soul spark, my heart, what those desires are really. My deepest, most authentic, most fully self expressed, highest version of me in how I'm created, that's what gets revealed. And so anything that I pursue in my life or hang on to from attachment in my life, from an egoic place, from I just want to feel this and I want to feel safe and I want to be comfortable and I want this person to admire me and I want to feel successful and important and I want to blah, 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 right? For whatever reason, I want to be right and I want to be righteous and I want to be I. When I give that up, to just delight in all I want is the highest path, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. Literally, no matter what it is, I want the highest love, the highest good, the highest truth. That's all I want. That is my delight. God can then work within us. So please, yes, please come into my heart. The God can then come in and reveal that in us. This is you at your highest path, your highest expression, in your highest truth, in the highest expression of me, my love in you, through you, right?
Yeah.
And then we are the hands and feet of him in that way. And there is nothing, literally, please hear me now, there is nothing that will fulfill your heart and soul but this, but him, but the highest love. Everything we are seeking and think that we want is a search for the highest love in us, to feel that, to be in that, to embody that. And when that is experienced, the desire for anything else, I mean, we can have that. But when we have surrendered every choice, Jeff, when I gave every choice to Jesus, I had nothing left in me that wanted to choose anything else. And
Right.
this is really what is actually available for people that we need to begin sharing, and they need to begin realizing that it is possible and it is available and it is what they're seeking in themselves. And we have the choice. We are just the choice of choosing the highest love or choosing anything else. That's what we are. And as we choose anything else, it siphons energy from us and it trades choice for compulsion, for
Mm.
urges, for reactions. We get very caught up in it. We lose ourselves in it. When we give our choice to Jesus, he gives us infinite life and infinite choice and infinite agency and infinite love and partnership. He does not treat us the way that those other things treat us, because he is love. And so that is what we will be discussing more next time.
I think so. I think we will definitely need to pick this up and talk about it more because there's no way we were going to fit that in one episode. And I kind of knew that as soon as I heard what you wanted to talk about. I said, "Oh, there's two parts." So,
Yep.
or or maybe just a series like we did with the last one. So stay with us, everybody, because this is like hold on, because this is big stuff. Um, and please, if you are like seriously wherever you're watching, like I know there's people out there that heard stuff that blew their mind today. So please drop a comment in there, and we can address it, or we can reach out to you, or whatever. We'll figure it out because this is important stuff, and this is a big deal. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we got about 60 seconds to go before we got to take off. So um, I think the only other thing is maybe just I think I'll just say the next episode that we're going to have with you, Michelle, is going to be April 21st. So April 21st, so a couple weeks from now, we'll continue this discussion, and the next episode of the show in general is going to be Friday, April 10th. So look forward to that, and thank you for your patience, everybody, as we are figuring all this out. I mean, I'm so glad that we made this switch because it is going to be very cool, and it is in the long term. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. unless God tells me I am. But I have no plans to go anywhere right now, and so I want to keep sharing your stories with the audience and giving people hope. So if you know of anybody that would be an amazing guest, drop a comment in there. Just you don't have to tell them or anything, but let me know and I'll get in touch with you. So anyway, so yeah, so we will see you then. Michelle, thank you so much for today. It's always an amazing, mind-blowing experience, and always beneficial. And I love and appreciate you so much for doing this. And thank you.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Do I have 30 seconds?
You have about 5.
Please know that you are loved. You do not have to fix yourself or figure it out or effort. Just receive that you are infinitely loved.
Perfect. Love it. That's the perfect way to go out. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.